Welcome back to D20 House, where a bunch of nerds get together, roll dice, and slay monsters. Guys, tonight is Friday night, which means we are playing some Requiem, Vast Horizons. Woo, I hope everyone's excited. I know I'm certainly excited. We got Chris, Odie, T, Ian, and myself, Tafa. We're going to have a great time, guys. Ian, any announcements?
No current news. We're just playing. We're just going smooth now.
Okay. Yeah, smooth brain.
Relatable.
Got to roll the duck, our beginning of the game tradition. We don't just do this on stream. We do this at home, too.
Duck says 19.
Cool. Well, if there are no other announcements, I guess, drink water, pick up heavy things, put them down. Make sure you guys watch My Hero on Monday and Mad King on Wednesday. But otherwise, 18, not bad.
I don't want to pick up heavy.
It's so good for you.
It shows, T. It shows.
Yeah, we all know.
How leave?
Don't get blown away in the wind.
Well, everyone, I think we're going to get right into it. Who remembers where we left off?
I just discovered a whole beehive bullshit. Everything's terrible. The only two people on the station besides our crew are in some kind of weird death cult staring into this black hole. They're painting rooms. The robots are weird. I got a lot of work to do.
The robots aren't weird, they're just silent.
The robots are weird.
Oh yeah, silence. Their voices have been taken.
But the robots
Yeah.
also, through their directives, can give me forewarning about what's going on, but not directly, which is weird.
You know what's not weird and terrible? The artist providing our music for tonight's stream, guys. I want to give a huge thanks and shout out to State Azure, who you can follow on Spotify, YouTube, I believe SoundCloud. They have a personal website as well. Please go check it out. It's all modular synth, and a lot of the music is like space or cyberpunk or like sci-fantasy themed stuff. So we got permission to use it on stream.
Fantasy.
Please go check them out. Love their stuff. Big fan. A couple of years now.
Spice.
All right.
Spice.
Currently listening to a delightful little track called the Kardashev Scale, which is like 13 minutes long.
I like watching those like tiny home videos
Yeah.
and stuff just to see how people organize themselves in pods. And one thing that is consistent through like every single YouTube channel is the way that they say space.
The one place not corrupted by capitalism.
I love everything that you do with this.
Hold my beer.
Spice.
Space!
Oh, this space is utilized so wonderfully.
Yeah.
Spice.
Space.
Oh, I love what you've done with your space.
Is it in space? Space is everywhere, Ron. Grayson? Yeah, sorry. Anyway.
Spice.
Cool. We've discovered something terrible aboard this space station. The Sanctuary in Abyss, which is orbiting around the ancient and notable black hole Cygnus X1. We all got to look at it in the observation room. That was pretty cool. Shecky's cooking dinner for
The psychopaths.
Yeah, the
Darwin,
Darwin. The other one left.
Yep.
I'm not sure my cooking was good enough for her.
The other one left.
Vela. She's
Vela.
She's busy. She's doing work.
Well, that's it's part of the schedule. I don't want to interrupt.
I'm just gonna capture someone and just carve them up. Just gonna make an effigy.
My God. All right. You're back. Your
Ranger
character was
lives in a
here,
spiral.
but you're back at the table. Whew. And yeah, we're gonna get right back into it, guys. What's going on? What's happening?
Wow, I'm
Not
the black
you.
hole special little guy.
Not you.
What's
you three.
that?
Who's doing
You want me
what?
to-
We have, this is like the end of the first day on stage.
I'm finally getting off
You
our
would
ship.
you would have been released from hypersleep before we did our landing sequence. So
Got it.
I'm assuming you would have wanted to go look at the black hole and such.
No, actually, I would not.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. That's fine.
Walk around and
All about the biology, right?
Yeah.
stare off into something.
Stars are boring.
Well,
I was reading words, throwing out my mind. I need to do something else.
Yeah, your vision's still probably fucked up.
Yeah, I don't need to be looking at something that's trippy as it is.
No science for a week.
well, depends.
Well, we're here for a week.
Yeah, because I'd probably just strike a conversation up with Darwin after like dinner and like make sure that everyone, of course, gets their rations and meals, and probably actually just asking him how he thinks with what's like on the station.
Yeah, he just like You guys are getting done with dinner. This is wonderful. Thank you. Like I was telling you, I'm no cook. Vela is entirely too busy to worry about anything like that. We just break our food down and have it prepared as, well, effectively as possible by the machines here, but there's no character.
Well, don't tell me that you're actually going through with like NutriPaste, that sort of stuff. You'll at least have some solids that they actually cook up for you, right?
We do eat solids. It's just when the robots cook for you, it's not the same.
Well, actually, do you choose specific ones to cook for you?
We do have specific serving staff, yes.
How's their learning program?
We could go take a look at it if you wanted to. But
Well, do you think that they'd be able to pick up on it? Like, how advanced is their hardware?
it's fairly advanced. They're meant to serve in civilian vessels, so.
Well, maybe I can give a couple of pointers. I mean, a little bit of home cooking goes a long way,
Absolutely.
especially after a long day. There's not really days and nights out here on this station. Do you have a sleep schedule? I mean, not to ask, but like night and day cycle.
We don't have a night-day cycle the way you would
Well,
conceive
standard
it playing
shift.
inside.
Yeah.
But we do have a very strict, schedule that we keep in terms of our workflow and our time for recreation and our sleep.
Oh yeah. Good. Well, try not to make it too much of a schedule sometimes. Like, have a dessert night here and there.
Oh,
Actually, well, I got some good holologs and the rest. If you wanted to look through, I have a whole collection of videos that we've been watching. We had to rewatch a couple of them off the year's journey over here, but maybe I could share some of those.
Of course. We end up having a lot of free time here because our work often involves just waiting for the computers to render information. It is a painstaking process.
Mm. You ever play cards?
You know, not recently. You guys get into cards?
Pulls out a deck and the
Oh
rest.
my god, yeah, let's go.
Hell
Okay, you're gonna
yeah.
play cards with Darwin. Xenobiologist.
I'm probably talking to Nora.
Yeah, okay, we're just wandering around the station with Nora.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not bad. Or I mean, like, this place is built to have a lot more people than are actually here.
Mm-hmm.
But this whole thing is just absolutely rampant with robots, you know? The way they just stare at you, though. Nora does seem like a little weirded out by them. Like, she tries to keep a conversation with you while you guys are walking around, but she just, like, finds herself, like, staring back at them every now and then and just looking, like, a little bit concerned. And then she kind of, like, snaps out of it and, you know, she keeps the conversation going. What do you think of this place?
Honestly, I think it's kind of trippy that there's not so many living things around. There's a lot of robots.
Yeah. Here we go. Okay, Nora. The robots, they seem... Something about the behavior just seems weird. I've worked with a lot of service units. They really should have their voice modulators activated. But no, I understand Darwin was saying that they're disruptive and understimulated. So she seems troubled, though.
I don't know what it is, but something about them irks me.
Well, do you think it's the constant staring?
No, not really. it's no. I think it's just like they're just like you said, they're understimulated and stuff like that. So the thing just
don't like your face.
I don't know. It's hard to explain.
The wheels. Fuck you.
Yeah, I mean, they're not humanoid, you know. So, yeah.
What are those tracks?
Oh my God.
Loser. Look at me, capable of three-dimensional movement.
You picture the robots in WALL-E, you're pretty close.
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
was how you described him. Was that a microwave in your chest?
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, so I mean, dinner and everything. Like, he was pretty interested in the robots from the get-go because, like, and especially after Darwin was explaining that they've shut off their voice modulators. Because to Kosham, with them constantly staring at everybody, it's like, especially now that there's a lot of people here that are going to be here for a short period of time, he's wondering, this is probably a good time to turn on their voice modulators and give them a little practice if they need it, you know. And he's just interested in how they're behaving because it's not often that he gets to see a lot of, because they're not animals, but they're behaving like pack animals in a way.
Yeah, they're artificial life.
Yeah.
So it's a worthwhile study for you.
Mm-hmm.
Just studying the robots.
Yeah, watching the robots, and if he gets a chance to talk to Darwin about it, he'll ask him if it might be a good idea just while we're here, because we're only going to be here for a week, and hopefully it wouldn't overload Darwin and Vela, but they could, if they need a little practice, they could get a little practice talking to people.
Yeah, roll a skill check for me based on what you would use for your shepherd work, just to kind of get a sense of these robots' behavior.
Probably work.
Can I use work, or
Yeah, you
would
can
you
use
want to
work.
notice, or okay, cool. What am I doing? It's not
2d6.
Yeah, I don't know why I just picked up a
2d6.
I don't know what that is.
You add wisdom.
Okay, so that is a 10.
Not bad. Not bad. These robots seem like they desperately want to communicate with you.
I know. That's what he was picking up on.
Like urgently.
Okay. Yeah, he'll go talk to Darwin and ask about that. 'Cause I can try fucking around with their voice modulators, but I'm probably gonna break something. So.
Mm-hmm. Cool. You head to the kitchen where Darwin's hanging out with this guy. They're playing some kind of card game.
Probably something as simple as like even just go fish, not even like just
Yeah.
like something super simple but fun.
Classic. Yeah, they
You're
have.
telling me you don't have a card game called Pandora's Box?
I hate it here.
Oh, that's a poker hand.
I think I've seen that one. Sorry. That's bad.
That's a bad joke.
Yeah, they're like robots in the kitchen that are taking away their dirty dishes and such for them. Ian gets it now.
You got it? Yeah.
Different kind of poker hand.
Yeah, cleaning up after them and such. But all the robots, like as soon as you enter the room, all do just zero in at you.
Oh.
Classic. But otherwise, they still go about the room cleaning up after the humans who just finished their meal here. And these two guys are just sitting at the table playing cards.
I could see. You want in?
Oh, maybe. I was thinking, Darwin, since there are so many of us here this week, the robots really seem like they seems like they have a lot to say. Can't go anywhere without their eyes.
That would be an understatement. The robots, I know I explained it briefly earlier, but they're programmed to serve a much larger population of humans in a station with a more stable populace. When there are only 2 to 5 people aboard the station, they behave strangely. They talk too much. They talk too frequently. And they talk at all hours of the day because they're trying to meet their programming's needs. We found it was best for our productivity and our schedules just to keep that feature disabled.
Oh, certainly, I can understand that, but
They're
Well,
able to communicate with each other, however.
I'm just thinking while our crew is here, if their programming needs a little tweaking or they need, if we can be helpful.
All I was wanting to teach him to cook a couple of recipes I had down my sleeve. And I think listen, they can listen well, but sometimes communicating can help clarify things potentially. As long as it's not against protocol, I don't think it should be.
I'd certainly be amenable to listen to some chatter. It's not often I get to interact with a large pack of artificial life like this.
I'm sure that we could manage that, yeah. Who's the programmer or primary technical interface for your crew?
Oh, that'd be Omrit?
Do any of you have a program better than 2?
No.
Okay, then it would be
Tabari.
it would be Tabari.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool. Tabari will come take a look at the robots. He'll probably do it tomorrow, but yeah. Fantastic. Cool. You're just walking around with Nora. and
Yeah,
you
I'm just
wanna-
trying to explain to her as best as I can, like what something is about them without looking at the eyes. Just their mannerisms, the way how they just kind of like are slightly like stiff.
You don't study pack behavior the way he does, but you study life forms and the way they behave.
Yeah.
And at the very least, like you have a base of knowledge more than like almost anyone else in the crew would have. They're like something about this other than the staring. Actually, the staring's pretty normal.
Yeah.
Especially for like creatures exposed to life forms that are not usually in their space, in their sphere. You know, that's pretty normal. But like everything else, yeah.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah. I'm trying my best to explain it to her. It's like, oh,
Maybe it's just the psychosis from hypersleep, though. you know?
no.
No?
No. I know something is off, but I just can't put my finger on it.
Does he? Court!
Call an emergency meeting.
Meaning, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I was just
I'm not
asking
fucking
to
around.
be in.
Cool.
I'm gonna put it under the guise of like, hey guys, fire drill. Everybody get to the ship right now. Non-negotiable safety.
Fire drill, we're on another station.
Exactly. Station's on fire. Get to the ship. Safety drill. Get your buddy. Go. Now.
I'm afraid that we'll have to bring this.
You get 2 pings immediately. Sorry.
Oh, go ahead.
You have to bring this hand on board. Or...
Oh yeah, it's like I think we'll just have to do a rain check on this. We'll continue this later. The rest I gotta.
Our cards won't be disturbed. If you can remember whose turn it is, I'll remember.
All right. Well, I'll maybe be right back.
That's fine.
Duty calls.
I need to get some work done anyway. He runs out of the kitchen, and it's just you guys and the robots cleaning up. You guys can leave. You get 2 pings back almost immediately. One is from Riva, and it says, "Protocol dictates emergency meeting check is not due until day 6, so 1,200 hours. So what's really going on?" And at the same time, like, before you can even answer her, you go in from Captain Era, "What's going on?" Because he knows, he already understands.
He's already set.
Yeah.
I stick to the guns with the both of them. I say emergency meeting, fire, calms down.
You get to the gantry and get up into the ship.
I don't care if Riva doesn't show,
Yeah.
honestly, at this point. If she wants to be a bitch about it.
Oh, Riva will show.
Show.
She's a professional.
And
Come on.
she can be all testy about it all she wants. I'm not pinging over an open line. Hey, crazy cult shit going on at the station. Don't trust the 2 weirdos.
No, she'll work with you. She just doesn't think the way you do.
0 operational security.
Yeah.
Ex-army grunts.
Yeah. She's a grunt who went to college. You're a
Yeah.
fucking whatever horrible thing you used to do.
An amalgamate.
Yeah.
A specialist.
You're a specialist.
Specialist.
It's a special boy.
Yeah.
Built
All right.
different.
You didn't take 2 with you, did you?
Yeah, 2 was with me.
2 was with
guarding
you.
the door.
Oh, right. Okay.
Yeah.
So
Keep
you
you
get
from
back with
closing
2,
me in.
and that one service droid like follows you back. The one you were interfacing with.
I take it on board.
Okay. Yeah. 2 like almost stops it at the gantry, and then like looks confused for a second.
No,
and
this
then-
one's clear.
Affirmative. He waits and he head counts every single member of staff as they get back to the ship, which it only takes like another minute.
Good.
Yeah, everyone gets aboard, and the captain has all of us meet on the bridge.
Yeah, next to Shecky's projector. I'll hook up.
He turns off the shutters over the main viewing
Yeah.
on the bridge, and he kind of looks at you. Do security protocols dictate we?
No, this has nothing to do with security protocols. This is all kinds of fucked up. Close everything down. No comms. I need your projector.
Right.
You guys need to be filled in on this.
Come
And
on,
I got,
we'll get-
Captain, I got a couple questions for you. You've been in this business for a long time. Have you gone on a single normal mission in your entire life? Have you been able to just like deliver a package and go home?
No.
There was one.
That's oddly comforting. And I put up on the projector, I start showing people
Yeah, fixer right there.
what I found.
Yeah,
I give the brief explanation of like, yeah, the robots were freaking me out, so I plugged into this little fella right here. Tabari, if you could get his voice modulator working, I bet he's got a wonderful story to tell us.
Tabari's like working on the machine. He's talking to you, and he's like, "I almost went on a normal mission once, but then we got a distress call in the middle of, and then the fucking like room comes up on the screen, and he just like stops. Where is this?
I give him the room number on station. It was a locked room, but you know. Who viewed the black hole directly?
Koshin, Sheki. I'll just.
Well, I mean, I
I'm
don't
purple.
feel. I mean, I know that we had some weird fritzy
Potion?
things going on while we were,
Sheki?
No,
this is completely
coming here,
different.
but
Riva?
I don't feel
It's gotta
like
be different.
drawing on the walls like
Tabari?
whatever, whoever did that.
Amrit.
Oh, that's so many.
That's more than half of the crew.
Is everybody okay?
I like to think so.
None of you
Just-
failed your mental saving throw we did last game.
Amrit, you good, buddy? Feeling something weird?
What exactly are you
I'm
expecting
fine.
us
What-
to be feeling?
Feeling like scrawling, he sees all, he knows all, he views into my soul. I don't know, I missed a couple of those ones. Some of them are just written in.
This is.
I don't know what script that is.
This is deeply troubling. This could be explained, I'm sure, but I know you're not particularly one to take chances with safety. Dr. Andrews, do you think there's any way that we could view the sanctuary's medical record? We would need to jack into the mainframe directly or get permission from Darwin.
I mean, I was talking with Darwin. He seems more of the reasonable one than the other.
I'm not asking him for shit.
Saying Vela was probably, I mean, she seemed really focused about something.
I think it's prudent not to involve Darwin and Vela in this until we understand more about the situation.
Mightn't we see what else the droids have to say?
Just waiting on Tabari.
Yeah, he's working it right now.
My recommendation from the outset is we keep our heads down, we stay in groups, we interact with them as little as possible and as politely as possible, and we get the hell out of here. We got to survive a week on this. I don't trust their crew quarters. I recommend we sleep on the ship.
Can anyone assist Tabari on a DC 10 program check?
I gotta hack a program of 0.
Okay, well, you can attempt it. The three of you
Zero.
can attempt it, but one of you needs to do it,
Okay.
or he will fail.
Here's a kit that I've got. Go ahead and utilize this. It gives you a +1.
What's your?
He gives you his hacker PDA.
I have a +1 to my intelligence and wisdom, so both of them are pretty okay.
All right, you're probably higher because I have intelligence of 0, and it's probably int check, right?
Yeah, it would need to be intelligence, right?
Intelligence, yeah.
You got it, buddy.
Do I really though? Do
Yeah.
I really though?
That's 6 on the die.
That's 6 on the die.
+1, +1. That's 8.
8.
DC 10. Sorry. Okay. Tabari works on it. He hits a problem and he tells you, I can backdoor these robots, but the mainframe will know. If you want me to get in without alerting their system security to it, I'm gonna need more time.
Well,
We give it time. We got a week.
another question I think that we could probably look over that'd be good information is if we could get access to the space station's manifesto. People coming in, people going out. And as long as the amount of people who go in, as many as they go out, I'd be less concerned and just think it's probably a crazy lady problem.
You think, you think people might be going missing here?
Well, that's what I think that we should definitely find out first. Because we might be overreacting. Maybe they just have some weird, kooky psychological thing. I mean, they're two people housed up in a tin can next to a black hole for years and years on end.
I know the base is exceptionally well shielded, but you have a point there. I don't know if I would feel particularly good being next to something that powerful for this long.
Yeah.
There are gravitational waves passing through us right now. And there are systems on board this station that help us not to feel it.
And that's without considering the isolation.
They are alone with a bunch of robots that stare at them 24/7.
Yeah, but they turn off their voices
Turn
for
off the
purpose.
Well, imagine 7 droids all asking you how your day was, and you have to repeat it over and over. I mean, part of me understands. Unfortunately, it looks like a circumstance of the station that they're in. I don't know about their well-being or health, but obviously one of the two isn't doing so well.
I mean, if I were stuck on this ship and I had to stare at that and have no constant feedback, I probably would go insane.
Well, I'm happy we're tourists, and hopefully we can keep it that way and be done with our week and go on along our way.
Has anyone done any searching? Is there anything that maybe this writing is referencing?
It's like scripture? Do you know any good, like, journalist? No, not journalist. What's an author or something like that? Good classic?
Not much of a...
I mean, I can look into it, but I can't promise anything.
Well, and maybe we
At
could
least do a
present it.
preliminary search of some kind.
Well, I've seen a lot of World's art, and some of it can get pretty strange, and maybe that's just her little pet project, or his little pet project. I don't know. I guess there's a lot to find out in that station. Just depends on how much we want to dabble into. Part of me kind of regrets looking at that black hole now. Well, I'm not even sure I stared at it. I can't remember it.
Did I get an affirmative check from everybody who looked into the black hole?
Yeah.
That they are feeling tip-top and didn't
Nora can look
see
over them.
anything?
Nora, could you check over our vitals, make sure that everything's...
I'm always jacked into your vitals. Everyone's fine. I can run a more comprehensive scan if you
Really?
want
My
to.
heart's palpitating.
I can run a more comprehensive scan if you want to follow me into the infirmary, but I'm going to have to scan 5 of you, so it's going to take some time.
Well, we've already had the body system in place. May as well
Well,
keep
maybe
it going.
Maybe we should settle down, do a status quo scan, and make sure that we're all at a baseline, right?
Agreed.
And then after that, we'll give permission to leave the ship after that as staff, guy. And then we can just, do we even go into the station at this point? Like, is it dangerous?
Have you redisseminated firearms after we landed?
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah, Riva's just like,
There's 100% not a chance that I stepped off the ship unarmed.
Riva just like
I'm not even
always
on
has
the
her
ship
hand on
armed.
her holster, but she's just like tapping it, nervous every now and then. It's just, do we need buddy system going forward, or
At least for this station.
we can't
100%.
we can't stay aboard the Inevitable the whole time, right?
Oh, I can.
Certainly not.
Absolutely.
Well, we still need to unload our
But it'll
cargo and-
look suspicious if all of us
We'd
do.
watch it.
Why care what
Yeah,
they think?
we have to go through
They're kooks.
logs and they're hydroponic and get enough so we have enough food to go back too.
We do. We need to move on and off the ship.
I mean, some of us
we
have
can't
shown
move in
face.
a
Buddy
war
system.
crew.
I'd vote for that.
Tabari, is that thing off? And he kind of nods. If their robots are at all in on this, we are wildly outnumbered on this station.
The robots aren't in on this. The robots are the ones who tipped me off.
That makes me feel better. Okay.
Makes me feel worse about them. If they're having to stare at that the entire time.
Buddy
Settle.
system.
But the robots know something's going on.
Benelli, can one of us stick with Dr. Andrews?
That's a good call.
Do you want to be with the doctor?
Sure.
Wait.
Okay. Who's the next least armed
Who?
or capable? You? Okay, well, that's fine. You're her partner.
That's why I took Andrews.
Okay, you assholes.
Me.
You assholes. You're sticking with Riva.
That's fine.
One last thought crossed my mind.
Yeah.
I'm just a wild dog.
I'm not a psychic. I've never had that whole, MS stuff go through my head and everything else like that, or whatever it is. But are they
Well,
psychers?
you're a man. You wouldn't have that.
Stop.
It's not biological, but I
Rethink your statement.
Well, I'm not.
Well, what if one of them's on the brink of going crazy? I'm just saying, with being a psyker.
I'm not an MS neither of them show any of the
Psychic
general
ability.
signs of Mez. And from what I understand, Darwin's a cyborg, and it's exceptionally difficult to graft cybernetics onto people with an active Mez.
Okay.
But I know it's still possible. I would need access to the records, or we would just need to ask them.
Because that's the only concern, though. I've witnessed that before, and if there's drawings like that, that does scare me.
I know you're still a little scrambled, but
Yeah.
if you could spend any amount of time around Darwin or Vela, you might be able to pick up if they have any just passive psychic resonance.
I can do my best.
Amrit? He nods. Oh, I'm on it. I'm on it. You and me?
Sure.
Okay. Then we'll go with Riva and we'll spend some time with them in the mess or something, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Keep your wits
Battle
about
buddies.
You got this.
Who do you want to be
Is
with?
that worse?
Who do you want to
Well, if
be
we're
with?
sticking with our same battle buddy, I think we've changed it up a little bit because
Yeah.
Security
yeah,
concerns.
security concerns. But otherwise, it was us.
Yeah, we're a good team.
Yeah, and then
Okay.
yeah, you're with Nora.
Okay.
Captain.
Tabari wants to stick with 2 if that's fine,
Yeah, that's okay.
especially because how shaky things got with the color out of space.
Who's with Captain?
Amrit's gonna be with Captain. So these are our battle buddies right now. Not bad.
And there might be times where Nora would have to rotate in with 2 and Tabari,
Yeah. Yeah. We'll adjust as
depending on what needs done around the station.
Tabari cannot attempt. So
She's a nice kid. I'm not going to make her an accomplice to breaking and entering into people's personal quarters and stuff.
you should have attempted the program because you're an expert, and you can do the 3 dice thing, right?
I'm a warrior.
You're a warrior.
Yeah.
God, who's the expert here? No one.
I'm warrior expert warrior.
Can you do the 3 dice thing?
No.
No,
Oh my
actually,
God.
that's a foci. That's a
Yeah,
specialist.
it's
That's
a-
why.
Oh,
That's
okay.
why, as a because I could take that as my free foci, a specialist work.
Okay.
So that's what check you got.
Cool, but not program.
But yeah, because my fix is 2, my work is 3, but you also reduce. You roll 3, but you take your d6
Better
out.
odds.
Yeah, better odds.
Mm-hmm. Right, that's what I was talking about. Okay. Tabari is not going to be able to attempt again until the next scene, which is tomorrow.
Okay.
So he is going to try to get into that firewall tomorrow if he can.
We're gonna keep a hold of this droid or release it.
Oh, we're 100% keeping a hold of the droid.
And what if they notice its
inventory.
absence?
There's hundreds of droids there. You notice its
Well,
absence.
And it also would show how studious they are. If they're actually paying attention to
This is
their
true.
If they're paying that close attention, that'd be very good to know as well.
So we'll keep an eye out. If they notice their droid is missing, that will mean we'll tighten our own security measures.
Yeah.
Cool. Good to know. Yeah, Battle Buddies established. Is that the rest of our night? We're going to kind of just chill on the Inevitable.
Well, do we pick up the
Yeah, let's
card
go
game?
pick up that card game.
We all have, yeah, well, perfect. You guys go finish your card game with Darwin.
I had to go.
We still
Yeah,
have
it'd be
rooms on
less
station.
suspicious to mosey around.
Yeah. We have rooms on station that they offered us if anyone wants to stay in them still.
Were we planning on staying in station? I figured we would probably just stay in our.
I got the excuse I have to do some OT on those maintenance hats, making sure that all the workways and all the seals are okay, checking the EV suits. We're fine at the ship.
Cool. You guys go wrap up your game with Darwin. Things seem normal.
As they were.
He does not seem at all bothered by you guys picking up in the middle of the game, so. You are with Dr. Andrews. She's going to run a scan on your battle buddy, Riva, which we don't need our battle buddies when we're on the ship still, it's just when we leave the ship. She's going to scan Riva. She's going to have to scan you two when you get back. She's going to have to scan Tabari and Amrit. Great.
I do want to ask Darwin while we're playing cards, since I'm sure we're just having casual conversation. Like, how long did it take you to get used to the gravitational waves?
Well,
It's like I can feel it pulsing in my veins.
You may be particularly sensitive to that kind of thing, but the dampeners in the station.
He's certainly not feeling it in his legs.
My God.
That's right. There's lots of him to feel it.
The dampeners in the station do their job for the most part. It does
You
make
got
it.
his space legs.
It does make it hard to sleep, but it's not like the few times I've had to run an EVA. Even in my suit, which is a full environmental protection suit. It's a lot.
Is there any
Oh.
specific sicknesses associated with it? Like, I know in a couple of oceans and seas, like the rocking and everything else like that can make you like.
Well,
queasy
even
in the stomach.
solar sicknesses in systems where solar flares are constant.
Yeah.
Solar sickness is a concern considering the size of Heidi. It's a very magnetically active star. That being said, fuck you. I don't care what you have to do.
No, you don't.
There's gravitic fatigue is a concern as it would be orbiting a gas giant, but it's obviously much worse in an environment like this. There's the concerns for radiation, which we have to take supplements for daily. Even with our station's shielding,
Well,
there's all sorts.
actually,
Plus, we have to do our biannual psych evals. So
well, and could I actually almost ask if you could relay some of the good medications you got for the anti-rads and just make sure that our medical chief officer actually has that information would be good for us. Like, I know we're only here just for a week, but it might not be a bad thing. Eventually, I mean, it doesn't of course have to be now. We just enjoyed a good meal.
he kind of like stares at you for a second. Roll notice.
Jackie's wisdom of only +1. Oh, so that's 8.
Nice.
Okay, all right.
So you get
You roll notice too. You're here, and you're perceptive like that.
yeah.
Because I think you'll notice different things.
That is a with wisdom. Do I get to add wisdom?
Wisdom.
11.
He takes a second, and you see the playing card like kind of crumple in his cybernetic fist for like a second, and he, yeah, that'd be fine. I don't interface with other doctors very often, so we're gonna have to find some way for me to patch the data over to Dr. Andrews, right?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
And in that second, when like he like tightened his grip and he kind of like spaced, it was just a second. You have this thing that you've had to be very careful of your whole life now, where you don't make direct eye contact with dangerous things.
Yes.
And his eyes like just dilated very slightly after Shecky asked him that question.
Yeah.
And then he blinked and he was like back to normal.
Solid.
Solid.
Predatory.
Great.
Well, actually, I think I have a couple of desserts that we could probably actually break out in the rest. I think I saw a couple of spice plants that I could use in the rest.
Fantastic. I think I can do dessert tonight, and maybe tomorrow I'll work with your doctor and we'll figure out how I can.
You just can make a simple list of just anti things that we'll at least use normal stuff. I know that there's different brands out there.
Yeah, it's pretty specific.
Or is this stuff that you synthesize here at the station?
We have to synthesize it here.
That makes a lot more sense.
specific
Now that I
to the
actually, because now the conversation, I can realize a bit further. Amazing what speech can find. Well, Farrah cream tea comes with ice cream.
I've not had ice cream in years.
Do you have any of that Galilean blossom?
Back on the ship. I can make
That's
a quick
the one.
run. Actually, I have to retrieve a couple of supplies, but we could.
You know that stuff's probably not authentic, right?
Well, as long as it tastes good and goes down to the same process, and the rest of it,
I'm not complaining.
and it titillates the tongue.
Very good. Back on the ship, you are hanging out. Yeah. Do you stay in the infirmary with Dr. Andrews, or I know you're around as well. Aboard the ship, you don't have to be at her side, obviously.
Yeah.
But she's scanning everyone right now.
Is Reva still on the ship?
Reva's still on the ship.
I need to talk to her for a minute.
Reva's scanned. She's fine.
Thank God.
And she just like stays in the
I like
corner
having
of the
sugars ready.
infirmary. I know It's you and her on the ship. It's you and her. And you guys are just kind of watching. Are you around or are you?
Yeah,
elsewhere?
I'll be around.
Cool. Tabari
nice.
is still working on the thing, so he's not getting scanned yet, and they're still out. So she scans Amrit, and she does come back with like a small irregularity in his brainwave activity, which he immediately just. I'm sorry. I don't understand. She's examining the data. It's not anything observably harmful right now, but it is noteworthy. It did come up as a irregularity to your profile. And he kind of looks at you for a second. Officer Benelli, do you mind taking my firearm?
Absolutely not.
Thank you. He gives that to you. I know how weird things got while we were sleeping and everyone had to deal with whatever that thing was out in space. I don't know I don't know what's going on with me, but I don't want to have to deal with that.
I appreciate your forthcomingness. Try to relax.
Yeah, try to relax. It's fine.
As my heart's beating a million miles an hour.
People have been telling him his whole life to try to relax.
Anxious.
No, he's a fucking. Well, yeah, he's anxious, but he's a psych.
Yeah.
You know, he's a mez. He has to keep it in check. Keep his blood pressure low. You know. So Amrit does not scan normally. Riva's fine, and eventually Tabari's fine. And when these guys come back,
Like, oh, what was I saying when he clenched up his hand? You saw it, right?
We're back on the. This is when we're getting
Yeah.
our.
Like, just
Supplies,
walked into
yeah.
the bay and the door's closed.
Okay.
And I can't forget, I forgot exactly what it was that set him off.
I believe you were asking about the meds. For the rads.
Well, yeah. All right. Maybe, yeah.
There was
That
something
triggered
in his face.
Yeah.
I didn't like the look about his eyes.
It was his hands. That crumple. Involuntary. Concerning, but I'm getting myself all worked up and spooked.
There's a lot to worry about out in the universe.
Hopefully dessert, ties
Yes.
it over.
So it's time for dessert.
And get our stand.
they scan nominal. They're good.
Okay.
Amrit's the only one with an irregular scan. He's a psyker though, so that's.
And he's partnered up with the captain, right?
He is partnered with Captain.
That's probably for the best.
Yep.
Okay.
Captain Aira will not hesitate. And yes, Captain Aira had one normal mission his entire career. And it was the mission, he had a horrendous accident and he was put out of commission for 2 years. And in that time, his entire crew died
Yeah.
without him.
That's not normal.
No, the mission
one
was
before it was normal.
The mission was completely normal. He just had an accident.
Got it.
Like he had a completely just like normal accident
the one
to have
before
aboard
he
the
was
ship.
put. Got it.
Otherwise, it was a completely standard
Fate.
job. Yeah, and when he comes back, everyone's dead, and the ship's remodeled, and he has a new crew. You
Kosham
guys.
has never had a normal mission.
No, Tabari had
Me neither.
Tabari had a normal mission, but on the
Two for
return
two.
on the return flight, they had to pick up a distress signal, and that was very
Distressing?
harmful for them. But he's not elaborated on that further. So we probably know better than to ask Reba. She's not particularly experienced as a spacer, but I mean, come on.
She's a soldier.
She's a soldier. It's just you. It's you four. Check. Have you ever had a normal mission?
Define normal.
No.
Expect nothing and you won't be surprised.
Yeah. You know it's bad when the oxygenator failing is not our biggest concern. You know.
Yeah, there's backups and redundancies for that. It's
Yeah.
the things you can't control or fix or tamper with until it does what
Speaking
it's
of which, we tamped down those RTGs, right? No, I know we did. I'm just mad at you.
Stop! We have enough problems!
Yeah, I think that's the night, right?
Yeah.
Okay, I need everyone to roll. Everyone who looked at the black hole to roll fresh mental saves.
Fuck.
You got it, bud.
Good luck.
You throw a 7.
And I just catch Riva up on some general operational security.
Oh, what? Isn't it a D20?
D20.
Is it a D20?
It's a D20.
Oh, God.
Saving throws are D20s.
I keep forgetting which ones are which. Okay, I'm good.
Wonderfully average.
What'd you get?
16.
What do you need? 13? Something like
9. Yeah, for mental.
Yeah, Shecky's higher level.
Yeah.
that? Okay. No, I'm just curious. What is your mental save
Oh, yeah.
value?
9.
9, 7, 6.
Damn.
Okay, and you guys are fine because you didn't look at it.
Yay.
I'm not interested in science.
I'm a higher
No.
level.
Not a
Yeah,
man of
just-
science.
That's not a
Just
bad
basic
thing,
things.
partner.
Yeah, no, I'm.
Don't question
That's all it
decisions
is.
over
I'll take
text.
it.
We don't know if systems are ever secure. Yip yaps, yada yadas.
We need to work on that.
Unfortunately, yes.
I know that they don't give us a lot of resources to improve the ship at our own discretion, but they give us some. If we can, we need to work on securing our comms and making sure we can be backdoored.
Yeah, you're telling me. Keeps me up at night.
Between the two of us, though, I know we recently had an encounter with Gorlamites, and if we ever see them again, there's not a security system developed by man that's going to prevent access.
So I work on personal relations. We free their buddy to them, we shake a couple hands, and hopefully they just don't jack all of our shit.
Hopefully you're right. Cool. You guys are good. Okay. Okay.
Keeping a very close eye on poor Nora.
Nora's fine. She didn't look at it.
Oh, that's right, she didn't look at
She's
it.
just stressed. You know? She's like
Do we...
woefully
You
underprepared
two
for this
both
life.
looked at it, and you're on a team together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like that needs to be shifted.
That's understandable. I mean,
You ought to go with Shecky.
Oh, okay.
keep me in check. How about
Shecky's
that?
got that double.
But that'll put
barrel.
Koshin with Riva, and they've both looked at it.
Yeah.
There are 5 people who've looked and 4 who haven't.
I can take Kosum then, and Riva can take Nora.
I like it.
Oh.
I think
You're agreeable enough.
Yeah.
I think everyone's good
quiet.
now.
Yeah, it doesn't talk much.
Each pair has someone who's looked.
Yeah. That leaves one person explicitly to keep the eye on the other.
Mm-hmm. Great. Do you want Nora to run more tests every day?
Oh, yeah.
Okay,
Yeah, I'm paranoid as hell.
you guys are fine.
Wake up, test, lunch, test, dinner, test, sleep, test.
Amrit's considerably better. In fact, he is not displaying any abnormality.
He's like gone back to baseline.
Yeah. Nora's like called everyone to the everyone required to the infirmary to test them one at a time. Riva is currently displaying abnormality, and it is at that point that we realize, oh God, we've been here before. Where's Tabari?
Check the
Oh, guys,
Check the
I'm
trackers.
fucking Maintenance
Nora,
house
where is
again.
he?
I swear to.
He is not on the ship.
Is 2 with him?
2 is
2 should be with him.
with him. Yeah.
Where's 2?
You check your scanner and it says 2 is 300 meters from the ship, which is his maximum range.
Blast down. I bolt.
Yep. You guys go. You follow the directional thing. It's taking you back to housing block D.
Are you
I know where I'm going.
are you going on your
Yeah.
own, or do you want me to stick with you?
I want you to stick with the
Cool.
crew.
With the crew. Okay, stay on board. You go.
I'm gonna open a comms channel with Captain, just kind of like passively. He can hear my heavy breathing and bullshit like that. But that way, anything that I say, he can hear and he can talk to me. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, you follow this signal and you get down to It's room D21. Tabari is just like
I got my silencer ready, and I am just like corner peeking.
Tabari is standing outside the room, and
Are you staying aside?
Tew is doing exactly what he did for you. He's hall checking.
Yeah.
And Tabari is
robot.
kind of like looking over the keypad to get into the room. He's doing exactly what you did yesterday. But as soon as he like sees you coming down the hall, he kind of takes a second, stands up.
Oh, I wouldn't let him see me. I'd roll stealth.
Okay, great. Roll stealth.
That's not super high, but that is 8.
Not bad. Not bad.
Yeah, he sees you. He sees you
Yeah.
coming. Kind of just stands up straight, looks over at you. How did you get in here?
I keep myself like most of my body still obscured around the corner. I'm just kind of doing that slight lean through. Why do you want to know so bad?
There was something familiar. I wanted to get a look at the script here, like firsthand.
And you didn't alert anybody?
I told Tew.
Did you? 2, did he tell you?
You instructed me to stay with Tabari.
What's he been telling you?
He told me he wanted to investigate the site.
Like to update your programming? When someone says anything like that to you, it is pertinent to update me immediately.
Understood. Would you like an update whenever I leave the confines of the ship?
Yes.
Understood.
Tabari, the room ain't going nowhere. Let's go focus on that robot back on the ship. We'll get you scanned up nice. Yeah? Little breakfast. We're in no rush. We got a week. I'll take you back here this afternoon.
Roll something like a diplomacy, something like that.
Can I talk?
Talk.
Connect.
Perfect. Talk.
13, baby!
Ian, every fucking time, my guy.
Get it with the bacon and the beans.
So often you can talk.
Sloppy lines.
Yeah, he just
That's a
kind
good one.
of takes a second. Yeah. No, good idea.
Yeah. You're hungry.
I am actually.
Yeah. To escort him back, I'm going to follow up close behind.
He's fine.
No, he's not.
He's not.
I don't trust him for shit.
You go back to the ship and you scan a relatively extreme irregularity from him.
I fill in the crew as well. Then keep everybody nice and updated. Well, I guess the captain would because he probably heard everything through my comms.
And Tabari did look at the black hole, right?
Yes.
That'd be you two, Tabari, Riva, and Amrit.
What can Nora tell us about this irregularity? Just that he's got some weird brain patterns going on?
From what I'm seeing here, this could be some very early onset paranoia. I'm not seeing anything that's going to indicate that his brain is in any immediate medical danger. But these brainwaves are extremely irregular.
Is there any stabilizers we can get in?
I could put him under.
This presents a morbid opportunity. What if we disarm him and do a little indulging? See what he does in the room.
A morbid opportunity. Let's go.
Part of me really doesn't like that, though. He's one of us, and I wouldn't put him in a situation where if the mind goes all kooky and the rest, I don't want him, writing on the walls in here. I'd have to clean it myself. But
We'll hide the permanent markers too.
Have we had any follow-up on Ship Manifesto? I know we were talking about that before.
I didn't really. I mean, I was in hydroponics. Well,
They're set to get it
was
to
there
us
an
later
opportunity to ask
today.
for it in the rest? Fortunately,
It'd be
it's
really
kind of-
weird to ask for it,
It
too.
would be kind of an awkward thing. I mean, unless if our ship is missing something, that we need to know Manifestos if they have inventory on their ship. Do we have a lack of something? Actually, yeah. Cassine, do we have any needs on the ship? I mean, I've done my logs and I can't see anything, but maybe. if
Other
we
than what
have
we've
a-
come here specifically, they've already
What do you want to find?
told us they're going to
Well,
I
provide.
can make a need.
Maybe so. Well, it's just an excuse for us to get a
I understand.
manifesto. We don't actually have to be mysticated.
That's exactly what I
What
understand.
we were talking about,
I am the ship's administrator.
Well,
we were talking about trying to figure out if any other ships have been off or on the station and how many people arrived, how many people left, kind of thing.
Yeah.
There are three ways you can get this information. You can hack their system and try to get it yourself. You can ask them for it. Or you can sneak up to the operations deck.
Could we ask the robots?
Maybe if the robots have access to system log, the robots at least are able to maintain their own internal, hardlined database, which is what we were hacking those images from.
Yeah.
But until Tabari breaks, fully backdoors this robot, which he's going to attempt shortly, we don't know if they can access the whole sanctuary database. Which
I guess I'm not asking about that specifically. I'm just asking if this one robot felt the need
can I have your hacking PDA?
Yeah, absolutely.
to take photos of whatever they took photos of to send this message. There's a chance any of the other droids may have done the same thing or something similar.
With your hacker, he got it.
Perfect.
He got it. That was perfect.
Talk to us, buddy.
All right. Well, I have access to security. I do not have access to data logs regarding mission information. That's fine. We don't want to know more about the black hole. What do we want?
who's come and who's left, if that's possible. Ship manifests.
Ship manifest would be fantastic. I also want live camera feed.
If there haven't been any ships arriving in the last 6 months, I'm not going to be able to give you squat.
Right.
That being said, he goes on a search through. We have one vessel. It looks like a Thoraxian mercantile vessel stopped here for refuge.
Refuge.
Yeah, pull up the holodeck.
Turns on the projector.
Cool. He streams an image onto it. It is of the hangar bay where you guys are parked in. There's like spots for 3 more ships of comparable size to yours, as well as starfighter docking bays. There's a small Thoraxian patrol boat size ship that pulls in. These relatively insectoid aliens are welcomed aboard. They speak with Darwin. The robots do their weird staring. And he starts just scrubbing through footage, scrubbing.
I make a count of how many are there, that showed that got off the ship.
Mm-hmm. There were 3 of them. Only 3. He scrubs about a week. Robots get aboard the ship from its gantry, and the ship takes off.
It took robots with it, but the insectoids didn't get back on. Yeah, see, that's what I thought. That's what I
The
thought.
Thoraxians did not leave the station.
I think this is the point where we should probably talk to the captain and see if
He's right here, right?
No,
yeah.
Era's here.
Yeah, there's no way I'm having this debrief without
this is
him.
a major
I
debrief.
think this is the point where I would make a formal request that is it part of mission objectives in order to stay here on the full week, or can we skedaddle as soon as possible?
Well, you need at least a day to prepare the ship for launch, because you guys need to load all of the foodstuffs if you want redundancy. You can leave without it, but that means that you're exposing yourself to
We're in two uncharted zones.
almost a year's journey without.
No, there's
But
no way in
I
hell
only
we're
keep
leaving.
10 days of emergency food in my stash. I don't have enough.
What's our current food stock? You had the number. Should be one of you two.
It should.
It's not me.
So it's
Yeah.
238 days there and back,
Yeah.
and we actually had 582 days.
Yeah.
Well, and I thought that you said it was longer on the way there than it was on the way back.
Yeah.
it can be faster on the way back.
So technically, we still have 344 days worth of food.
Okay,
Yeah.
So we might.
344, but we have a 238-day journey.
So I think we should focus on the essentials, make sure that the spike drive has all of its fuel systems updated, and make sure that we have enough to be able to do appropriate jumps and stably. And the rest we have to figure out on the fly. But I think being here is probably a bit more of a danger than it needs to be. But
I can get cargo loaded as quickly as I can. It may help, we may be able to speed up the process if I can get another crew member.
well, and
But-
I'm brainstorming, so I guess I should take. That was my urgent concern.
If my duties are covered, I can assist you with cargo.
We could take it, either play it sly and cool, especially since we know what's going on, but that risks someone of the crew going missing. Or we could, again, emergency, try and skedaddle.
I'd like to hook up a clean device to that security system that we've got access to. Look for open inquiries, unresolved emergencies, and then I would like to do an active check. I want to know where the two of them are.
Yeah, you check recent security. Vela's currently on the operations deck. Darwin is currently in the subsystems down in engineering. So they're both in inaccessible regions of the station to you guys.
Yeah, but I can see that. I can see through all those.
You can
and
see that
stuff.
they
I
entered
can
those
see-
areas.
Okay, but I don't have a live camera feed of that area.
You do not.
Okay.
You do also have access to station maps right now, so that's helpful. And
Which is nice.
Those indicate that they are in those sections. It doesn't indicate their exact footing location.
Right, and what they're actively doing or
Mm-hmm.
whatever.
Yeah.
No unresolved queues in the system. No unresolved security threats or
None.
a sweep that they missed, an update that needs done.
You check for that. Roll notice for me.
Not great.
DC 8.
Yeah, that's only 6.
Damn.
Rolled bad.
Checking through here, if you gave it more time, you could probably find an irregularity in the logs.
Yeah.
But just at first glance, they seem pretty clean. You could jack 2 into it, and that might be able to access it more directly. But there are security risks involved in that kind of thing.
Through this back door, do we have access to direct hookup to other robots on the station?
Yes, it is a shared security net.
Can I look through their eyes?
Yeah, but it's going to take you a long time. There are a lot of robots here.
Yeah, to just kind of flip through.
You just flip channels.
Do I have a little map with them, dot? Can I get a map with them active?
Tabari can try to get you one. Yeah, actually, perfect.
Awesome.
He
And
gets
can I steer them? Can I move them?
You cannot control the
I
robots.
can't take a manual control.
No.
Passive.
Yeah, the robots have pre-programmed routes and behaviors here, but you can at least look through their individual security feeds. Yeah, where do we want to look?
Well,
I want to
actually,
look
the more
in
that-
restricted areas. I want to look for crazy scrawling on the walls and bullshit. I want to look for in the active rooms. I want to see them and see what they are doing. Just right here, right now, currently. Just to start.
looks for a pattern for a bigger problem.
Yeah.
You do not have security access to engineering, but you do have. There are some robots that are present on operations, so you can at least check on Vela.
Yeah.
She is currently at this huge monitored desk, and she is just working. She's running the station.
The walls aren't covered in crazy scrawl. There's not insectoid bodies hanging from the ceiling, dropping juice onto an unborn child or some BS.
No.
Okay.
Are they armed, any of the robots themselves?
No.
No signs of weaponry or bigger threats?
There seems to be a security droid in operations, and yeah, but you can't access that droid. You just see it through the eyes of these service machines.
Is there a way, looking at this map with these droids here, I know we can get direct access to hydroponics without the two of them noticing if the robots aren't actively tipping them off to stuff. Is there a way, though, is there a hallway where the robots just don't really bother going, or do they leave hallways clear on a regular basis, and we could even roll up into there without the robot seeing?
Like a blind spot, basically.
Because the robot, I mean, I can find tons of blind spots, but something more grand where I could get a small team and cart, say, a whole bunch of ready-to-be prepared food onto the ship, and we can just use our own fabricator to get it ready, and big ups bail.
The crew quarters, because they're not inhabited, are mostly a blind spot. Robots only come in twice a day for a few minutes.
Okay.
So for the vast majority of the day, those are blind spots, and they're relatively close to the hangar bay. So that's at least an opportunity. You would
Might
just
be able to get through there and then make the little jump across.
So of course, crew quarters is pretty close to kitchen. So
Exactly, and that's where I want it.
yeah.
Okay.
Well, and was there any, when we were flipping through it and the rest, was there any signs of like the reptilian people, like they're like if they
Yeah.
have storage or containers or like?
Insectoids.
Yeah, are there
Is there any
crates that are
symbols
leaking
or anything
fluid?
else like that? Yeah. Well, yeah. It's
Yeah.
like, did they leave an imprint? Was like, or did it look like they never even were here?
You guys search for more specific information.
Yeah, I had that was one of my
I'm willing
questions.
to spend all kinds of time looking for information.
You guys can spend a
before I
lot
act.
of the day doing this, but I need a notice check from you because you want to know more about
being on the ship
this.
isn't we kind of sketchy. It's sometimes for them.
I'll take it. So it's 10 plus wisdom.
Do you and Amrit and Riva want to go spend some time with Darwin?
I can go spend some time with
I know we were talking about that.
That'd be great.
I'm still moving. Unless someone tells me not to, I'm going to keep moving cargo. But I
You
do
say
have two
All
questions.
smiles.
Wait.
I'm always all smiles.
Okay, what's your total?
Well, it's 10 plus wisdom.
Yeah.
Right? 11.
Nice.
Incredible. The Thoraxians had guest rooms here, not on D block. They were like the same block you guys are on, which is A block. There is record on their 6th day here that they returned to their crew quarters and they did not leave the next morning.
Sounds like my job. All right.
Okay, wait. I have two questions. So, first question: if we need to just get the fuck out of here, I need to talk to somebody in navigation who knows where the nearest system is or nearest port is.
We could make a pit stop. There's
Yeah,
a
so that
halfway
if we
point.
have to, we can make a pit stop and not fuck around with their supplies. Because that is a concern.
Well, and make sure that we don't violate our mission.
Yeah.
We dropped off everything that we need to.
Yeah. I'm going to keep doing my job. Yeah.
We
you-
pile it up at their door, Matt.
Yeah. I'm going to keep doing what I'm supposed to do and try to get it done as quickly as possible. Because this shit is weird. But is there somewhere that we can stop that is not going to put us outside of our current rations?
Because we still would have 344 days, which would put us about 106 days of leeway room. We're not hurting for food. It might have to not be as pleasant. It won't
Yeah.
have the same variety.
Yeah.
So I have good news and I have bad news. I've already calculated an optimal path in order to get us back to Terminus Yards as efficiently as possible. I could potentially shave our return.
This is Riva.
Yeah, I could potentially shave our return down by 18 days. Not bad. We're looking at a 210-day journey on a
344?
344-day supply. That's not great, but it's doable. We would have to gravity slingshot past dusk, but that's not a viable planet for us to make a stay at, and even if it were, that would mean we wouldn't be able to make the slingshot, right? There are a few other planets on our general path that are friendly to humans. We could head to Division, but Division's a fucking disaster, so it's probably better that we don't. We could stop by Smelt. I don't think our security officer would particularly like smelt. We're looking at a choice between Division, which is an active police state, or Smelt, which is it's a mining prison colony. So they both have ports accessible to civilian and mercantile vessels.
This is, I ask as a, if we don't want to stay here long enough to get all of the cargo unloaded and, take the provisions we were initially supposed to be.
The cargo's unloaded.
Cargo is unloaded.
Cargo is unloaded
We're
first.
just
waiting on
loading.
cargo.
We need to
Yeah.
load our own personal
Yeah,
cargo.
so just our resources.
Yeah, which would just be like
Yeah.
a few things.
If, for a last-ditch effort, we need to stop somewhere and stock up again, we have options, if not ideal, somewhere we can get food.
We should be more than fine on fuel. Assuming we are not thrown wildly off course, we have more than a standard redundancies fuel supply left. So
Is there any way for us to find the name of the ship that docked for refuge?
we currently have access to security through optics and through live feed from the droids. I don't have access to the logs of the data specifically. So I don't know if I could get you a name for the Thoraxian vessel, its captain. I couldn't get you exact timestamps. I couldn't even tell you what robots went on board and flew the ship out of here, much less where they went.
I'm just wondering if, there's a way we could access the Cygnus database or talk to our handler or something to get a little more information about this.
We could contact CM99, but we're not technically in Cygnus Association space. We're right on the edge of it. We're too close to the galactic rim.
And it's logged that this ship was seeking refuge, but not from what or from where?
Well, I don't think we got that information, but we're sure they didn't leave. At least not that we know of, but why else would,
No, I'm just
Anyway.
wondering if there's a way we can find a little more information.
yeah, what if they're still on the station? Maybe they're in hiding.
In hiding?
For that long?
For
Well,
months.
if you're a refugee of something.
I don't know, do the bug things eat?
Thoraxians looks at Nora. They, not as often as we do, but them hiding here for 4 months unsupervised would be very difficult.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They
I'll
do
check
eat.
the rooms.
They can't really molt safely without food consumption, so. Yeah, you go check A block. Okay, so you're gonna go hang out with Darwin. You're gonna go sweep A block quickly.
Can I give you an
hydroponics and see about what food we can grab up?
yeah? Can I give you an exert and just see if I can try to go any faster and just get as much done as quickly as possible?
Yeah. You want to load all the stuff quickly. You're wanting to load all the stuff quickly without seeming
no.
suspicious, right?
Yeah.
Because I feel like did all the work you're scheduled to do over the course of 3 days in an afternoon,
Yeah.
they'd be like, what?
Yeah. I rolled a 7.
Oh, that's not. It could be
On a
worse.
minimum roll. It couldn't have been worse, actually. That is as bad as it gets.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
I rolled 2
You had 5 to work?
with
Strength with
exert
Constitution.
with Constitution.
Oh,
That's
Oh.
insane.
yeah.
Okay,
There you go.
I like it. Cool. You are working. All seems fine, but you kind of the whole time question yourself and the current pace that you're working at, and you're just hoping I'm hoping I'm not being sketchy.
Okay.
Don't be suspicious.
Don't be suspicious.
Don't be suspicious.
You track down Darwin. Darwin is not anywhere you can find, but when you, if you guys ask the machines,
You hit the buzzer.
yeah, if you guys ask the machines to like notify him, he makes his way up to crew quarters pretty quickly. You don't want to be here. You don't want to be in crew quarters right now.
No.
He's here.
Yeah. We can go to the mess hall area because I have a pen of showing him a game that we used to play in Pandora all the time.
He's going to mess hall.
Yeah.
Because he's gonna try to see
Oh,
what food
shoot.
we can pilfer.
Observation deck.
The ops.
Okay.
Not pilfer. I mean, I'm just doing a little my job early.
Yep. Observation deck.
Sure. Put me somewhere else.
That's fine. You don't have to look at the thing.
I don't. I'm not going to.
It's okay.
Operational security.
It'll look at you.
The
You guys-
screen seems safe.
Yeah, the screens are safe. You
It was
just-
that direct view that seems to be messing up people's minds.
You guys go to the observation deck
Uh-huh.
with all those plush, comfortable like furniture, and like it's a very comfortable place here because they kind of want to like show people around this room, you know, which they did. They gave us the fancy little tour, and you guys get to spend some time around Darwin. Don't worry, this is not anything harmful. I either need a skill check for one of your psionics, or I need just a mental save to see if you can passively detect psionic resonance from
If
this.
he's got something going on.
Strange for a cyborg.
It would be very strange for a cyborg, but we need to know.
Bios not 6 is one of the ones I have. Or go mental.
Biopsionics.
Biopsionics.
Biosonics is not bad for this.
Oh yes, baby! 10 total?
Nice.
No. 11 total.
11
Even better.
total. Okay, and Armorit's going to be assisting you because he's also a scion.
Uh-huh.
Oh wow, two sixes.
Let.
You guys got a 12 total because he gave you a +1 assist. Fuck you, phone, don't do that.
Oh, I don't like this.
Okay. You guys kind of just case him together, and Riva's hanging out with you guys. You all get to hang out a bit. He asks if any of you want to take another look through the direct observation.
I'm good. I've been staring at other things for too long. I don't want to be staring at something else.
Riva very politely declines. She's, obviously she's very excited by this kind of thing, but, she's not going to remember it, so she kind of plays it off pretty well. Amr doesn't play it off great, but it'll be fine.
No,
right?
it's all good, man. Just don't bring it near me.
It'll be fine, right? It'll be fine. Just hanging out with Darwin passively. You do kind of pick up a psionic feeling from him.
Weird.
You don't think he's psionic.
He's under the influence.
You think he's under the influence of either a telepath or a meta-psion.
He's been smoking that devil's lettuce.
But to know specifically what it is, I would need a DC 14 check. Which is not something you can feasibly achieve. If you...
That's not true if you max out, right?
What do you
have
add?
+2, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, if you roll 12, or even if you roll a 13, or like if you get a 13 total, Amrit can assist you for that +1.
Yeah.
But you would need either a 5/6 or a 6/6. So you'd have a 3 and 36.
Biscuit for
Yeah.
the biscuit.
You have a 1 in 12 chance, kind of, basically.
I've been tasked to do so 1 in 12?
You might as well roll, right?
I
Like,
might as well roll.
what's the worst that happens? You just don't know.
I just don't
Be
know.
3 and 36 technically, but
Oh yeah, because 5.
I want to be
Six.
a help. I want to help.
I want you to help me too.
I believe in you.
I want to help.
This is beyond my scope.
I want
Come
to
on,
help.
buddy. Nope.
I don't. I can't help. I tried.
That's all you can do. Just try.
And I don't succeed.
Amrit gets nervous. He starts like wringing his wrist, just like checking his PDA like compulsively, and Riva notices and just kind of like looks at you. And
It's time to bail.
yeah, you guys are kind of getting ready to leave, and he's getting nervous, and he keeps looking at the door that goes from observation up to operations deck, which is not accessible to you guys. And the door opens and a security droid comes out
I don't like that.
and leaves observation. Darwin kind of looks at it concerned for like a second, and he goes back to talking to you guys. You are investigating A block.
Yeah.
You are investigating hydroponics and the kitchen section. You are doing the good work. When a security droid arrives at the gantry and requests access to the ship.
Oh.
I am here to speak with your captain.
I'll calm the captain. Captain, there's a droid wanting to speak with you.
You get a ping from 2 who says there is an unknown security droid standing at the gantry.
Christ.
Assuming defensive posture in cargo bay.
Absolutely. Good.
Cool.
Deny access to the ship.
2 comes over and very bluntly just says, access denied. Please wait outside the gantry. The captain will arrive shortly. And just looks at you.
Okay, as soon as he says that, I'll walk back in.
You're like,
and close the doors.
Every other droid you've seen on this ship has been a very simple service model.
Yeah.
This guy is like actually a decently armed and armored security model.
Yeah, before I go back inside, can I roll a notice and just see like what kind of weapons it has?
Woo! Nice.
How is 13?
From what you understand, Unit 2 has a very small, just like phased prong that can do a very short range blast that would stun and severely injure a human, but it wouldn't kill them in a single blow, usually. Like if you hit it to the head, it would kill them. This thing, it has what looks like a single fire, much heavier laser-based weapon that would probably be able to melt through any kind of light armor.
Got it.
It also seems to be decently armored itself, but it does have some exposed joints and such.
Okay. Yeah. As soon as 2 says that, then I'll take 2 and we'll go back inside the cargo bay and just shut the doors.
In terms of like the difference between our droids here, we're like almost looking at the difference between like a B1 battle droid and like K2SO from Rogue One. You know what I'm
Yeah.
talking about? Like
Yeah.
that's the difference in these security droids here.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
It's like we have beagles running around and now there's like a
Yeah.
Doberman or something.
Yeah. One is lightweight and built just to have another body on the field, and the other one is like I will stop, like cease hostilities kind of droid. So.
Yeah.
That being said, it does not board the ship, and Captain Eric comes to speak to it. You continue your investigation,
Yeah.
or at least we're gonna get to what you've found so far. We're gonna get to you right after the break, guys. So we're gonna take a 5-minute break, and when we come back, we're gonna continue Requiem Vast Horizons. Guys, thanks for watching. Stick around. This has been D20 House.